Why Miles McPherson? Why did I invite Pastor Miles McPherson to join us for our first ever Resurgence National Conference, October 9th and 10th in Orange County, California? Well, because he loves Jesus and the grace of God is evident in his life. By his own testimony, he grew up playing sports and having a substance abuse problem. He was a bit of an addict. He was such a gifted athlete, however, that he was a professional football player, ultimately playing for the San Diego Chargers and loving the city of San Diego and calling that home. And something very unusual happened while he was a professional football player. He met Jesus. He met Jesus, and his life got flipped upside down and has never been the same since. God, in every way, did a magnificent work in his life to get him free of his drug addiction. And he talks a lot about that and helps those who have had substance abuse and addiction problems. After retiring from the NFL, his ministry started to grow. Of course, prior to that, he was giving his testimony at churches and speaking at certain events and trying to share the love of Jesus, particularly with young urban folk who'd want to come out and hear from an NFL football player. Well, this led to a college ministry that, quite frankly, was very evangelistic and created a lot of momentum and enthusiasm really quickly in San Diego. It exploded and grew, and that became the Rock Church, which today is one of the largest, fastest growing churches in the United States of America. And I've been there, I've preached there, I've taught there, I've gotten to know the staff on a few occasions and genuinely love this church and genuinely love their people. I mean, it is a loving, gracious, hardworking, masculine, Jesus-centered church. I mean, it's led by an NFL football player meeting in an old Army base. I mean, so this is dude headquarters, and it's a great place. And I was so impressed with the staff that I really had the privilege of getting to know Pastor Miles a little bit more. And his heart is for lost people. His heart is for Jesus. His heart is for the church. And he's in a unique position, and this is what I've asked him to talk about. How do you love and serve your whole city while remaining biblically committed to certain convictions and not compromising? So reaching out without selling out. How do you do that? And I'm sure if you're a Christian or a ministry leader or even a business leader, you and I are always dealing with that. How do we love and serve the whole city? Do the Jeremiah 29, 4-9, seek the peace, prosperity, blessing, well-being of the whole city while not compromising our biblical convictions. Well, he's had a couple of really interesting scenarios. The city loves him. He is a bit of a favored son. His church does a lot of good work. The poor, the widowed, the orphans, the underprivileged, the marginalized, lots of generosity, lots of feeding, lots of service, big civic-minded heart. But he's also held the line on things like gay marriage. And he has come out as an African-American leader saying, this is not a civil rights issue, this is a morality, God, Bible issue. And as a result, he's gotten a lot of pushback and he's gotten a lot of conflict and controversy. How does that work? In 2009, Miss USA got up and said she didn't agree with gay marriage, and she was a member of his church. That threw him into the media limelight and spotlight again on the sexual morality issue. My question for Pastor Miles McPherson is, how do you do both? How do you reach into the culture to love and serve well without abandoning your biblical convictions and betraying the clear truth claims of Scripture? How do you do the grace and truth? How do you do the text in context? A lot of us talk theoretically about mission and how to be missionaries and how to seek cultural transformation and how to love our city. But when it comes down to it, and you're writing that line where you are loving while disagreeing, trying to maintain friendships without compromising convictions, that's his specialization. And so we'll see you October 9th and 10th, and we'll hear what he has to say.